Hey, you.
Over here, Agent.
Slayer. Yo, what's up?
Hey, over here.
Cursed one.
Hello and welcome to Ctrl, the podcast for those of us who love virtual reality, love playing video games in virtual reality, and love making many alts. Today is Wednesday, May 3rd, 2023, and this is episode 793 entitled Godstones Are Good Stones. I'm AprilPvd, and for those of you who are used to hearing Ctrl, the podcast about World of Warcraft, I've switched things up because after 17 years of playing World of Warcraft, I kind of figured that VR was my niche, and I have switched over the podcast to playing and talking about virtual reality. It's something that fits me better, and I put a lot of work into Ctrl. I didn't want to give it up entirely. There are still many good World of Warcraft podcasts out there. One that I really enjoy is the one for WoW challenges. And I'll put a link to that in the show notes, but you can find them on Twitter and on all the places where you can find podcasts. They put a nice spin to World of Warcraft, and Lita does an excellent job over there. So I have been having a lot of fun this week playing virtual reality. Virtual reality, of course, is the where you put the headset on. Instead of playing at a computer, tapping on a keyboard, looking at a screen, you're actually moving around with the headset on. And I understand there are some people who are sensitive and cannot get into virtual reality, or who do not have the space. You do need at least 3 square feet. Some people get away with sitting and playing without a larger area. I happen to be fortunate enough to have a nice big area to play. And of course, the other prohibitive thing is the fact that you have to have a headset. World of Warcraft, you can play on some Macs, on most PCs, and other video games you can play there. There are even some video games. Like I still play Pokemon on my phone. But if you're playing virtual reality, you need a headset. And there are a lot of difficulties that come with using the headset. You have to make sure it's charged. That's a big challenge for me. I have to plug in several USB-C cables to plug to charge not only my headset but also my backup batteries. I actually have 2 headsets that I use because I used to leave one at work to play on my lunch and my breaks. But now that I'm retired, I brought the extra headset home. So now I have 2 headsets, and they both have backup batteries that I have to keep track. And one of the things we're going to hop right into, that brings me right into news, because one of the big news items this week is that Virtual Desktop has an update. And there are several ways you can play games with your headset. Of course, most people play with just the headset without the backup battery. And if you're lucky, that will give you 1 to 2 maximum of playtime, which for a lot of people, that's a good amount of playtime. Some people are, like I said before, very sensitive, and some people it's probably just better that you have a short amount of time. I have played anywhere from 4 to 6, and on some days 8 hours in VR. And I play with the headset, but I also have a PC, and the PC is connected to my headset using an application called Virtual Desktop. And Virtual Desktop is how can I put this? So you can play with the PC in various ways. Some people play plugging in a cable. That serves for two reasons. One is using the PC does two things. It upgrades your graphics for me. And if you plug it in, it also gives you more battery life, because while it's plugged in, you're charging, but you need like a really long cable. And since I gave up my PlayStation VR and I gave up my Rift, I haven't gone back to cable. I know there's been a lot of more improvements with cable, but for me, I move around a lot. And sometimes when you're moving and you have the cable, you have the problem of cinching or getting the cable crimped, and then that causes a disconnection in the cable and you end up having to replace the cables. I even tried one of the winch systems where you put the cables over your head and it connects, but that never worked for me. Plus, my ceiling wasn't designed for me to really screw stuff into. So I use Virtual Desktop, which does it wirelessly, and there has been so many improvements. I paid like $18 a couple of years ago, and maybe 3 years ago, because at one time I was using something called a shadow PC, which was a PC that I used on my Macintosh that was accessing an actual PC in a server in New York. It was a server farm. It was like $26 a month, and it was a very fast computer with a very good graphic card. But when I upgraded to the M1 iMac, it no longer worked with that iMac. I think they figured it out now, but at the time I bit the bullet and I bought a PC, and I've been using that since with Virtual PC and with Virtual Desktop, and it has worked excellently. And considering that I only had to pay for it once, I'm really impressed with the people at Virtual Desktop, because they're constantly upgrading. Now, a few weeks ago, did I mention that one of the things I had been doing, which was really crazy and I didn't think it would work, was that while I'm playing, my headset would sometimes die. So I get the battery warning, get the last battery warning, and I could either just log off and do something else and wait for it to charge up, or what I did was I swapped out the headset. Now, in the past, when I had done that, I only did it for an emergency situation. I'm in the middle of a battle, in the middle of an instance, in the middle of a fight. Usually, it was probably Population 1. So I was in the middle of a game, and I'm fighting with my team, and I don't want to let my team down. But when I switched headsets, the view would be skewed. It would be almost like, how can I explain? Like when I turned my head, it wouldn't be the same. It'd be like everything would be like pushed out. And I think the sound would be gone. Now, someone told me this. Oh, I wish I could remember who told me this, but they did a post on Facebook that if you do get disconnected from your computer with your headset and you come back in and there's no game sound, that you can fix that by going to your computer's sound options and just reassigning the sound back to the headset. It was just a case of when the headset got disconnected, the computer grabbed the sound. But now, when I swap out my headsets, and I haven't tried this with Population 1, but I've done it with Zenith on many occasions. There is no degradation. There's no delay. I just pop it on, and of course I have to start up the second headset. I turn off the first one, and then I have to start up virtual desktop. And one time I was in the middle of a battle doing this, and virtual desktop had an update on the second headset, because of course I didn't think of that. And speaking of which, someone was mentioning that pretty soon, and maybe it's an update in 53 on the Quest, that when you exit you'll get the option to go ahead and automatically update things that need updating, instead of waiting till you put your headset back on and then finding out, oh my God, I need to update. So it had to update virtual desktop, and it's a small file. It's like 36 megabytes or something. And bam, it updated, and I was back in the game. And I want to get a shout out to Marito, because we were in the middle of doing an event in Scarlet Vale, and they managed to keep me alive, and I got credit for doing the event. So it's kudos to Virtual Desktop for that advantage. And they've now even done something greater, which they have upgraded their ability to do graphics. And I'm not sure all the technical things, but if you go into streaming in virtual desktop settings and look on the advanced setting, there's now something called Snapdragon, and you click on that and the graphics are even better. So exciting. Kudos to virtual desktop. And if you have any questions about virtual desktop, please let me know, because I use it all the time and I love it. Now, the other exciting news is patch 1.3 in Zenith, which is called the upcoming patch is called the Skyward Summit, will be available for open beta testing starting on May 5th. You'll be able to try out the Cyber Ninja, player housing, the new life skills, the combat changes, and more. So if you haven't been in the alpha, and a lot of people have, and you'll get to check it out. I've looked at some of the videos, and it's really exciting. I'm particularly excited about player housing. I know it's very silly, but it's almost like Sims, or what I wanted garrison housing to be in World of Warcraft. So if you, on May 5th, there is a little trick to changing the settings. I will put out a video on May 5th to show people how to change your settings so that you can go from what they call the live to the beta. And it's really interesting. It's really easy once you know it. It took me a few steps to figure out. And what I have done, and I don't know if this will work for anyone else, but I have changed the file on my headset, but I still have it on my Steam account for regular, so I can go back and forth when I want to. And of course, if you just have the headset, then you don't have that option. But yeah, it's exciting. If you are one of those people who like to be a purist, I understand. I still think if you just go in and take a look around, it won't take too much away from the newness when patch 1.3 Skyward Summit finally drops. And but the more people that go in and try it out, the faster the patch will come. And yeah, it's exciting. All right, so that's the news. Now, as far as my weekly segment, My Path to VR, I'm going to skip forward a little bit, and I'm going to go to November 13th, 2020. And that's when the Quest 2 was released. Now, the days, I think when I first placed my order, it was on the 9th of November, and it was very exciting. You got on. It was almost like trying to get concert tickets. I don't know if it sold out, but I know that everybody was trying to be the first, and I got my order in, and it was for the 128. No, it was the 256. No, yeah, I think it was the 128. But later on, I upgraded to the 256 because I think at the time the 128 was the highest you could get. You could get the 64 or the 128. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I have a mint in box 64 gigabyte. Never been opened, still factory sealed. I don't know why. I just decided I think it might have been like tax refund or something, and I was like, I'm gonna buy this, and then I just saved it, in case of emergency. Break glass or break seal in case of emergency. Fortunately, I haven't needed it. I did have a problem this week with that's what I meant to talk about before, but I'll put it in here real quick. I had drift, and after I talked about this last week. I jumped through a few hoops, and I got my new controller a couple of days ago, and the drift has been fixed, so I'm very happy with that. So after 11/13/2020, my Quest 2 showed up, and I think at the time I was still using my Shadow PC, but it was a big jump from the original Quest. And at the time, I was posting videos on YouTube from Rec Room. I think Rec Royale was able to be played on the Quest 2, so that was exciting. And I was playing Solaris Offworld, and I had named my YouTube channel That April's Holodeck. That April was a name that I had been going by for a long time. And somewhere, somebody told me, and it happened to be what we call a squeaker, said, you need to simplify the name of your YouTube channel so people can find it. And that's when I changed it to AprilPvd. So I'm putting a link in the show notes to my first video for Population 1, and that was so exciting. And it was it took me off of Solaris Offworld. I really did enjoy Solaris Offworld. It was a very fast-paced game, but Population 1 stole my heart, and I played it up until earlier this year when I started playing Zenith. And speaking of Zenith, that leads me into what I've been doing this week. Now, last week I talked about it's all about the cosmetics, and I got obsessed. I started doing this crazy thing where I was hopping on my Essence Mage to do the Sunshine event. The Sunshine event is in Fractured Plains, and it's an event where you get coins to get to buy cosmetic gear, and it's a lot like transmogrifying in World of Warcraft, and it's a little bit complicated because you have to go through several different phases to get the quest, the whole thing, the event completed. You start off at the doorway of the mind, over by where you get the quest in Fractured Plains, and then you have to. It's a defense. It's a defend the ground, or where you stop the mobs from coming into this circle. If they escape into the circle, then you can lose. The event can fail, and at the same time, you also have to get rid of these crystals that are formed that help them escape. The whole idea is that there are party goers that are trying to get into some event, into the sunshine event, and you're trying to defend it. Now, once you complete that, and it's very tricky because they come from all sides, and it's not something you can do by yourself because they come so fast, and while you're shooting one side, they're coming in the other side. Now, the event, I had been doing the event mostly on my Blade Master, and she had already gotten the skirt, and she was very happy with that, along with she already had the Pandowl, which I talked about last week, the Pandowl hat. So the only thing she wanted from this event was the skirt. It's really interesting because what happens is when you equip them in the cosmetic slot, whatever you're wearing looks like that. So it's just like transmogging on the fly. Even if you change out your main gear, because they're in the cosmetic slot, you'll still look like the cosmetic gear that you're wearing. The sunshine is really cute. I ended up doing it enough on my Essence Mage to get the hat, and there's a screenshot in the show notes, and that's the only place you can get the sunshine coin. But there's also NeoWear. And NeoWear can be in 3 different places. There's the Scarlet, wait a minute. Why am I all of a sudden? Scarlet Veil NeoWear event, and that's consisting of 2 events. One is you have to pick up these onions and throw them in these bushes to take down the bushes. But while you're doing that, you have these mobs shooting at you. Now, one of the things that happens with cosmetics is it's usually something you're doing once you've done a lot of leveling and stuff. And so normally it's like level 40s doing this. So I was between level 39 and 40. I actually dinged 40 on all my rolls on my Essence Mage this week. And my Blade Master was already 40 on all her rolls, DPS, support, and tank. And so once you finish that event or complete it successfully, then you go to the next event. Now, there's 3 quests that Allie gives you in the Nexus, and they alternate. But if you've never done it before, you'll get all 3 quests. But as you turn in quests, then the next day it's a reset, you get another quest, and it's confusing to me because it doesn't seem to matter where I do the quest. If I do a couple of quests, it'll tell me, oh yeah, you can go to Allie and turn this in. And every time you turn in a quest, you get 40 coins. And the clothes varies. For instance, right now, my Blade Master wants to get the pants. And the pants are 400 coins for Neo Master, for NeoWear. And she has... I think it's 350, and she needs 21 more coins. So she's got like 319. So each item has a different number of coins, and every day you have to do you can get so many. Because I've gotten all 3 of the quests, and each day I just get 1 more quest, then I only get 40 coins for completing the quest. But you also get coins, and this is the confusing part that I didn't realize, but you get a few coins for completing each event. So if you were to complete like maybe Scarlet Veil, Sky Song Summit, and Ramshackle, and turn in the quest, then you could probably get up to 50 or 60 coins. So it takes a long time, but it's worth it. I got the skirt from Sunshine on my Blade Master, and then on the 30th, I think that was Sunday, I got the top from NeoWare, and as you'll see in the screenshots, she has her completed look. My Blade Master has the Pandal hat, which is so cool, the NeoWare jacket, and the Sunshine skirt, and the NeoWare high top sneakers. Now my Essence Mage, she's got the Sunshine hat. She's fine with that. They both have the Sunshine bracelets. So when they are wearing the gloves, they have the Sunshine bracelets, which are little flower petals. And I think that that they're pretty good. That the only other thing that my Essence Mage wants is the pants from NeoWare, and that's what we're going to get this week. Now, if that was confusing, just give me send me an email to controlaltwow@gmail.com or message me on either Instagram at AprilPvd or on Facebook at AprilPvD, or come into my Twitch channel, which is also AprilPvD, and we can answer your questions. Now, we have a couple of more things I want to get into before we close out. The other thing was that I had changed. I had all these ideas in the beginning that I was going to have a Essence Mage tank, an Essence Mage DPS, and Essence Mage support, and I had given them things like Dr. AprilPvD and just just silly things that for each one, because I thought each character would be a different specialty, not realizing that I can change between them. And I've been doing that depending on what I'm doing. If I'm in something that's really hard and I think I need my healer, if I need something where I know I'm not going to die a lot, I've been bringing out my tank. So it really works. So what I did was I had named my Blade Master AprilPvD Asterisk, and then I had named my Essence Mage AprilPvD EM. And I'm like, I don't really like that. So I decided to change the name. And I'm going to do a video later on how to exactly change the name. But I'll go over the steps with you today. So the first thing you need to do if you want to change your name is make a new character at the character screen in the game Zenith. So you make a new character, and it doesn't really matter what kind of character it is, because it's going to end up being the character name that you want, the name you want to get rid of. So you make a new character with the name that you want for your current character, and then it'll take you back to the screen, and you just keep on playing, or you exit or whatever. So you don't play the character that you've just made. You just leave that character sitting there. Then you the next time you're on your computer, you log into skywave.zenithmmo.com. You log into with your regular credentials, and you'll see all your characters, including the character you just made and including all your old characters. So I had AprilPvD EM, and then I had AprilPvD tilde, because I thought tilde would be a good sign for an Essence Mage. It's a squiggly line. It's shooting out magic. So, and I like the thought that all my characters basically say AprilPvD, because that's the name I identify with. So now you're on the screen. you're looking at, you click on the tab that says character, and you scroll down to the one you want to change. And on that screen, there is a button that says swap names. You click on that name, and then there's a drop down button that will take you to the name you want to change to. And you pick that name, hit enter, and bam, next time you log in, you have the new name. Now, here's the only inconvenience, because the old name will still be on the screen, but it'll be up at the top. So, and it'll say level 1 in the academy, unless you actually played with that tune. Then that will be wherever it is if you played with it. So the only thing you can do to avoid that is to go back into the app, to the web page, and delete the character, which I'm always scared to do, but it's easy to do, and now you have the new name. So finally, I'm going to close out with, well, I want to talk about the name of the show, which is Godstones or Goodstones. I had, and again, thanks to Marito, or it might have been TK, I was playing my tank, and I really sucked at it. And somebody said, do you have any epic Godstones? And I was like, I don't know. I haven't really looked at. Well, it turned out that I was doing Godstones completely wrong. So what I would do is I would look at the Godstones and I would say, okay, oh, I do have a blue one, but it's only level 1. You know, is a level 1 blue one better than a level 5 green one? What I didn't know, and it didn't really occur to me until I was in an instance and one of my Godstones leveled up, or I turned in a quest and another Godstone leveled up. So you want the blue or the purple, even if it's several levels below the green, which is the common or regular one. And the blue and the purple ones level up. So I went in, I changed all my Godstones to the ones, and they've been leveling it up. So it's confusing. Go in, look at your Godstones. Sometimes you have a lot. I'm really going to go in and delete some because some screens are just too full of them. And as you level them, there are, depending on the type of Godstones, there are buttons below where you can change the specs. You can add to it. You can increase the cooldown, increase the critical strike. One of the things I was having problems with on my support was I kept getting, I wanted to use is it consecration? It's the one where you throw the sword and you get the circle that heals you, which is nice, but you have to stay in that circle, and sometimes the circle isn't safe. So I changed to a different Godstone that said when you kill an enemy, it heals you. So that was great when I actually went into the Vault of Ancients. And I was fighting a large number of mobs, but every time I killed one of the ads, I got fully healed. And now I understand how Marito was able to be so fantastic at the boss in Sunshine. So you have to really study your Godstones. It's not just a simple go in, click, and there you have it, and never change it. The other thing I've been doing is going into Galleon Valley and killing those lieutenants to farm for better Godstones. And I'm learning a lot. Oh, and on my Essence Mage, I got the level 42 gear from doing the leveling roulettes, which got me so many marks of ancients, and so that I was able to get the full set of the gear. But I couldn't enhanced them because I kept running out of basic dust. And then once I got to the point where I didn't need the basic dust anymore, I needed green dust, and I kept running out of green enhancement dust. And I was able to get more and by taking some green items and enhancing them up to the 3rd level. Not the 2nd level. If you enhance them to the 2nd level, you just get white dust. But if you enhance them to the 3rd plus 3, and then turn them into dust, then you get like 33 of the green dust, and you only need 10 to get to the next level. And because I was doing all this on my Essence Mage, and because she had a bunch of gear from the Katuni, from the agent rank that I had leveled up, had enhanced into a high purple level, then I had a whole bunch of purple dust, and now all my gear was able to be plus 10. Of course, now the next thing is getting into raids and getting some more orbs so that I can enhance the gear. But we'll talk about orbs next week and my enhancement. Of course, all this is low level Zenith stuff, but I'm having fun. I ran into some people who couldn't figure out what to do, and I'm just never bored. Between the catching of the animals, I'm trying to get my Amari wings on my Blade Master. I'm still trying to get my Dazzling Firefly on my Essence Mage. Oh, and I finally got my Dazzling Firefly on my Blade Master up to level 15. So now she has a 2nd slot. So she's able to give me extra stamina and speed. So whenever I'm trying to get somewhere fast, I pull her out and play with her for the buff. So I'm really enjoying the pets, and I'm just having a blast. And so today it's almost server reset time. I'm going to put this podcast out. I'm going to get on. I'm going to get my new NeoWear pants. All right, so the other thing I've been doing this week is I have gone into Rec Room a couple of times. I went in mainly because I wanted to look at my dorm room, and there are so many neat new skins available for the dorm room, and I just wanted to check that out. I actually did play a game of paintball, and that was fun. And I went into the lobby, and some kid was trying to tell me he wanted to fight me. So I was like, yeah, this is why I left Rec Room. And I did log into World of Warcraft. And I know this is silly, and I don't know what I'm going to do about this, because I had let my subscription expire. Unlike Zenith, you have to pay $15 a month for your account. I had moved all my main tunes over to one account. So, and the reason I logged in was I wanted to check on my guilds. I know I'm going to have to just let it go, but I could just buy and get a subscription every 90 days, because I think it's after 90 days somebody else in the guild can take over your guild. Or maybe I'll just turn it over to somebody and let them have it. I did log in. You have an option of spending gold, and apparently I had enough gold amongst my characters to give me a month. So I have until June to play. So I may dally in that. So yeah, that's been my week. I am really enjoying VR tremendously. I am enjoying Zenith. I'm going to put a link in the show notes to some interesting articles on Zenith and on what's coming up in the upcoming patch. Anybody have any questions on how to how to get into the beta or are getting into the beta, let me know. There's a really good article in gamesindustry.biz on the Ramen VR's chief technical officer. Her name is Lauren Frazier, and it's so refreshing because she happens to be a person of color, and she's female, and she's a big deal in the Ramen VR, who's the company behind Zenith. And this was a lot of her sweat and blood went into creating Zenith, and it's so refreshing after coming from a company ran by Blizzard and the degradation associated with knowing that my continuing subscription was, going to those people. So this is really satisfying to know that I am playing with a group of people who are just as diverse and just as motivated like I am, or like the rest of the community. I hope I didn't come off sounding too much like a fanboy, a fangirl. But yeah, I'm having fun, and thanks to everybody that's joined me in my Twitch at AprilPvd. If you have any questions, please message me. Please follow me on YouTube at AprilPvd, on Twitch at AprilPvd. And yeah, this has been great, and I'm enjoying my virtual life. I hope your life is good in and out of virtual reality. Bye. See you next week.
Hey, you.
Over here, Agent.
Slayer. Yo, what's up?
Hey, over here.
Cursed one.